Hello and welcome back. I'm trying to make a quick video. Unfortunately, my iPad keeps telling me that the storage is almost full. I've deleted so much stuff off there, and this is still my third attempt at making the video. Today I wanted to talk to you about how some lifestyle changes that I have made over the past 5 years or so since I initially started a zero waste journey, and then all the knock-on effects that have come from that, how these changes have helped in this current situation that we're in of basically lockdown because of the coronavirus. So let's get straight into it. I've made a few notes, which is rare for me, and the reason I've done that is because I don't like making videos when my husband's at home, and of course during lockdown he's at home. He's just the kind of guy who's a bit of an idiot really, and he would probably come in and sort of photobomb the video or fart or something or tease me. And so at the moment he's had to pop into work, which is closed, but just to pick up some paperwork so that he can work from home. So whilst he's gone, I've got a quick few minutes to make this video, and I don't want to have to keep remaking it, even though this is the third time because my iPad storage is full. So I've made some notes, which is just something I never normally do. Before you know it, I'll be a professional YouTuber. Anyway, let's get straight onto it. So the first thing is the toilet paper. And I'm starting with toilet paper because it was kind of the first thing that really sort of hit the headlines, I think. Although I was aware of the coronavirus, I was a bit ignorant really, I'm ashamed to say. I thought of it along the lines of things like Ebola. We'd heard of Ebola, but it never really impacted my life. I was very sorry to hear of the terrible cases of Ebola, and we prayed about it, but it never actually hit me. You know, it didn't hit my hometown, and it didn't have an impact on my life. And so when I heard about the coronavirus, which was over in China, kind of thought it was the same as you know, like the swine flu and so on, that it wouldn't actually affect me in any way. So the first way that it did really affect me was when the toilet paper all disappeared off the shelves. And I say affect me, it didn't actually affect me, but that was like weird. Why is everybody buying toilet paper in this crisis? We were aware of the fact that we may end up having to have a lockdown. It was still a distant thought, you know, I didn't expect it to actually happen. But anyway, the toilet paper all just disappeared off the shelves in the supermarkets. This was not a problem for me because I get my toilet paper from Who Gives a Crap. Now, if you haven't heard of them, and I think you must have done if you follow any other zero waste channels, you must have heard of Who Gives a Crap. Please look into them. They're a brilliant company. They just do everything right, in my opinion. I can't think of any negatives with regards to this company, but because I want this video to be short, I'm not going to go on and on about them. I can make a video if you really want me to. The reason I haven't done in the past is because every other zero waster seems to use this company, and they've all done videos about them. Anyway, when Who Gives a Crap came to the UK, I started using them. I've been using them ever since, and I tend to order their biggest box, which is 48 rolls, for several reasons. The first is it's cheaper. The more you buy, the cheaper it is. The second is obviously you get free postage or free delivery with that bigger box. And the third reason is I think the less frequently I have to have it delivered to my door, then the more I'm helping with my carbon footprint. I don't want to be having regular deliveries all the time. Obviously 48 rolls is a lot for us, especially because I also use what some people call family cloth. It isn't at all, because I'm the only person in the family that uses it, but I use washable toilet paper for a wee. And so I use very little toilet paper anyway. So when I do buy this, I share it with my daughter. But anyway, I had put an order in January simply because I needed it, no other reason. And then in late February, early March, when the toilet roll crisis happened, I wasn't worried. I knew I'd got loads of toilet paper. I was worried that people would think I'd been stockpiling. I knew that I was able to share with people if they didn't have toilet paper themselves, and so that was great. Another thing is that I got emails from the company because they all of a sudden were swamped with people trying to sign up. And what I liked was they emailed me to say to me, don't worry, if you're a regular customer and you have an order in, or if you're on one of these, what's the system called, where you have it delivered regularly. You know, some people have it like delivered every 3 months or whatever, or every 2 months. And they were saying that if you're on one of those systems, which I just can't think of the word for at the moment, we've set aside your toilet paper, you will still get it, don't worry. And I thought that was great. So yeah, the toilet paper thing was the first thing. I didn't have to worry about going short of toilet paper. I did speak to my husband a little bit about using family cloth. I said to him, you know, well, if the worst came to the worst, we can always cut up an old sheet and you could use that. We had a bit of a discussion because he did think it was a bit disgusting, and I explained to him, when the children were little and they wet the beds, we didn't throw all the bedding away, we washed it. What's the difference here? So anyway, thankfully he won't have to use a ripped up sheet because we've got plenty of toilet paper. So that was the first thing. The second thing was the fact that I started using a milk delivery system or service years ago because I realised that one of the biggest plastic things in my bin, sorry, my vocabulary is terrible, but when you look at your waste and you see where can I cut back, it was the plastic milk bottles. And I thought I want to buy milk in glass bottles. My husband wasn't keen at first because you pay quite a bit extra for it, but I'm so glad we do. To me, it's worth it. I love the fact that I have the milk delivered to the door. Sorry for looking. My iPad's on the windowsill, so I'm looking out the window as I'm talking to you. I'm really sorry. Again, the website for the company I use, which is called Milk and More, crashed when people started to realise that the shelves in the supermarkets were becoming empty, milk was going, bread was going, flour, toilet roll, all those things. And so many people tried to sign up for this milk delivery service. And thankfully, I was already signed up. I didn't have to worry. I knew I'd be getting my products, and they still do their best to get to me anything. In fact, anything that I had on a regular order has always been delivered. I tried to add on to my order, which is another beautiful thing. They sell so much there. It's not just milk. So I tried adding on yoghurt, partly because it was in a glass jar, and I thought, well, actually I'm going to start using that. I had considered it a while ago but was worried what my husband would say about the extra cost. Now I don't care. They didn't deliver me that, and fair enough, I didn't put that order in until after the lockdown. But I was also able to add to it bread, so we've had bread delivered once a week, and so I feel that I benefited from already being a signed up customer to a milk delivery service. Of course, all supermarkets now have run out of delivery slots as well, haven't they? I know the people, we've been trying to get food delivered to my dad for the past couple of weeks, and there are no slots left, even though him and my mum are very vulnerable. So I am having to go out once a week to do shopping for them, which is a shame. Anyway, so that's the second thing. The third thing is the fact that I would class myself as very low maintenance. I don't dye my hair. I am very blessed that this is my natural colour. I'll be 50 next birthday and I don't really have any grey. Having said that, I think if I did, I would embrace it. I love people who embrace the grey and just go completely grey. I think it looks gorgeous. But yeah, I've never dyed my hair. I don't have false nails. I don't wear nail varnish, so I don't have to worry about whether or not my nails are going to need filling in or touching up or whatever. And I don't have like false eyelashes or anything like that. Oh, the sun is bright today. My eyebrows could do to be tinted, but I really don't fuss. Every now and again I think, oh, I'll get my eyebrows tinted and waxed. But the one thing that made me embrace my ginger eyebrows, I cannot draw them on. I'm absolutely useless at that. So if I don't have them tinted and waxed, which I haven't done for many months now, they just go ginger and almost non-existent. The reason it doesn't bother me is because there is a YouTuber you may well be aware of, because she's very popular, called Jenny Mustard, and whether she still does I don't know, but she used to completely shave her eyebrows off, and I remember thinking how beautiful she looked, and so I thought, well, actually, why do I bother having my eyebrows tinted and waxed when I could just let them naturally go ginger? I don't need to shave them off, and she looks beautiful with no eyebrows, so I can look okay with no eyebrows as well. Obviously I don't have fake eyelashes, so I don't have to worry about that. So all those things, being low maintenance has made it really easy. And apart from today, I've put a little bit of makeup on for the video, I have spent this time of lockdown completely makeup free. Okay, and the fourth thing is the fact that we have been trying to reduce our food waste for quite a while now, perhaps a couple of years. I'd say about a year ago we really had a massive clampdown. When the children had all left home, which was a year ago, I thought, right, that we can really work on this low waste. It's been hard to try and drum it into the children because they were actually adults. And so for the past year we have really reduced our food waste, and so that's been great because we haven't had to worry about running out of food. We're able to look at what we've got. So for example, the other day we made a vegetarian curry, and some of the sauce that we used, it said on the jar, used within 3 days of opening. Well, we used half the jar, so we know that we're going to have another curry within 3 days. We're fine with that. We don't mind that at all because we do that quite regularly. We'll start something and we'll think, well, we're going to have that tomorrow because we've got some left over and we don't want it to be wasted. So we've been meal planning, and actually the last couple of times that we've gone shopping for my parents, we've been twice during this 2-week lockdown. We haven't really needed to buy much food for ourselves other than fresh fruit and vegetables because we've planned our meals and we know that there is plenty in the cupboard and freezer. So we have been able to keep our shopping to a minimum. There was a time in our lives when we would pop to the supermarket several times a week, simply because we fancied something. And by meal planning, in knowing what you've got, makes the difference, I think, to just thinking, like, what should we have for tea tonight? And then thinking, oh, I really fancy Chinese. And so then think, oh, we haven't got anything, let's go out and buy it. We haven't needed to do that at all because we've got into that habit of eating the food we've got, knowing what we've got in the cupboards and the freezer, which is important, I think, to know what you've got. And so that's been really beneficial to us, I think. Fifth is my no spending. I have, for the past 2 or 3 years, tried to have a no spend year. No spend is probably the wrong word. I should say low spend. And I think I do quite well each year. I don't actually achieve a completely no spend year, but I think I do really well. And I think that has really helped me in this time of lockdown, because the old me probably would have been looking online to buy this, that and the other. You can't go out shopping, so you have it delivered to your door. And I haven't done that at all. Haven't felt the need to do that at all. There's been a couple of things that I've thought, I wanted to start planting some vegetables. This is the time of year to do it. And I've been tempted to think, shall I have some seeds delivered and some compost delivered, because I thought I'd be able to pop to the local garden centre and buy that stuff, and I can't at the moment. So, but I haven't actually spent time browsing through websites looking for stuff to buy, and I haven't felt the need to at all. So that's been another thing that was beneficial. And the final thing I've got on my list is the fact that I don't drink. I've never been a very big drinker, but recently I just don't bother drinking at all, really. We still have plenty of alcohol left over from Christmas, and we bought a lot less this Christmas than we did last Christmas. Last Christmas we bought quite a bit because we had my daughter and husband come in to stay with us, and my second daughter does like quite a few of the Christmas drinks, things like Baileys and Snowballs and stuff, and so we bought a few things in. And they just lasted almost all year because we didn't drink them. So this year I bought a lot less, and of that lot less that we bought, we still have plenty left. Very, very occasionally I think, oh, just fancy a glass of rum and coke. Last night was an example, and I had about 3 sips and then said to my husband, I can't drink this really, it's too sweet for me, so he finished it off. Knowing that I could go several weeks without a drink at all meant that when the pubs closed, didn't bother me. And of course I said to my husband, as soon as it was announced that pubs would be closing, I said, oh, I think the off licences and the alcohol aisle in the supermarkets will be the next thing to be wiped clean. And they were. People went in and they bought all their beers and spirits and wines and everything, because they suddenly thought, oh, can't be stuck in the house for 12 weeks or so with no alcohol. Well, that hasn't been a problem for me, and my husband's the same. He's not a very big drinker either. Like I say, he has got a few beers, and he did have himself 1 can of beer last night, and he'll probably have another one tonight because we're having a Zoom meeting with some friends. And so, but yeah, those are things that I feel have